Ladies and gentlemen, faculty, esteemed thinkers, doers, and motivators, I am your host, Dr. Leroy Simpson, a faculty member of UAGC. And wow, starting things off, we have some education that's music to the ears. I would love, and it is my pleasure to introduce Miss Laura Fial. I hope I got that right. Um, the successful student success coach, military academic advisor, that's her second love. And her first love job is a nationally recognized vocalist and recording artist. She is going to give to us today as a treat on music education and the culture of care, how they align together and make a perfect package. I'm on goosebumps waiting to hear this. So, she's going to go ahead and give us that education and a little bit of a fun fact. Um, Miss File actually stuttered as a child. Oh, but when she sang, everything was clear, succinct, and eloquent. Well, just don't take my word for it. I'm going to let you hear it from the great Miss File herself. Miss Laura File, take it away.
Thank you so much. Wow. Well, we want to thank Dr. Simpson. That was a wonderful. I think he has a career also in MC besides being a professor. See, there you go. And thank you, Sandra. We just have the dream team here today. So, what I would like to start with, and thank you, culture of care and the culture, how do they align together and make a perfect package? Music is a universal language. I think pretty much everybody would agree with me at one time or another. We just need music, you know? It's especially in the world we live in. Let's go to the next slide if we may. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And please feel free. I think the chat is open, right, Sandra? If people want to type a question, we'll certainly leave room for that at the end of the presentation. One of the things that I like to always say, do you have memories you wish to share that involve music? I think it touches certain parts of the brain, and I share this with students all the time, and you will download the lyrics of a song, which we all can do today, especially with the advent of computer, phones, iPads. We call it a stanza. So instead of going stanza by stanza, it's sentence by sentence, if you're not familiar with that term. And this hit home with me because I'd like you to answer. I was going to say, ask yourself, and we can chat about that because this is sort of an open forum for that. I will use two links below and share my story with you. The first one that we're going to hear, I was working with these amazing icons, and I have been blessed to be able to sing alongside, in fact, a local Arizona resident here, George Benson. Um, I even shared a stage with, at one time, she was our governor, Janet Napolitano, at Celebrity Theater for a breast cancer event with the Phoenix Mercury. And how does working with these icons feel when you're singing and you're working, beside these people, and it's music that you're sharing? Because I'm thinking, I'm not, in government. I'm not certainly famous like George Benson. I think when you're working beside these people, especially with music, we're all speaking a universal language. So I had to pinch myself when I got to do this recording. Girl from Ipanema, Jobim, wrote this song, and it was for a breast cancer for a CD recording breast cancer, and it's something that's near and dear to my heart. I'm a two-time survivor, and I couldn't get it right the first time, so I say I did an encore, which was 20 years ago, this encore, this past October. And I have to say 100%, all of the musicians I've worked with have donated their time pro bono for Healing Through Music, which is a group that I also have, and helping cancer patients and survivors sing for the cure. So this was going to be on there. And I say we probably had about 14 of us. I had a percussion section. I worked alongside somebody that played at a very famous theater called Carnegie Hall in New York. We had amazing, amazing musicians that day, and I'd like you to take a listen. And how does it make you feel now, knowing the background story? And so we'll cue it up if it's all set. I think Sandra has it.
Give me a second.
Yeah, it's the top one.
Do
Yep.
you see it?
Yep, it's called The Girl from Ipanema. So it's a little jazz feel for the morning if you haven't had a cup of coffee yet. This will wake you up.
All right. Do you see the YouTube?
I do, but not yet. No, I don't. Does anybody else see it? I can hear it. Yep, I hear it.
Goes walking in. When she passes each one, she passes goes. When she walks like a sound, but it swings so good. And sways so gentle that when she passes each one, she passes good. Oh, but I watch her so sadly. How can I tell her I love her? Yes, I would give my heart gladly. But each day when she walks to the sea, she looks straight ahead, not at me. Darling and young and lovely, the girl from
And here you'll hear the musicians just momentarily that are amazing.
She's not gonna see.
It'll come up if you want to keep it on. I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought
That's
you
okay.
gave me
No,
the
no, no, no,
sign
no,
to
no, no,
stop
no,
it.
no, no. Yeah,
You-
no, that's okay.
Okay.
I would recommend that you go back and take a listen because you'll hear the percussion section, you'll hear the Carnegie Hall piano player. Save that link if you wish. I think it is right up there, the www.youtube.com /watch/Laura Fial. And it's the girl from I put it in there. And I do have several YouTube channels. But again, how does that make you feel? You know, I think very blessed in my opinion. I feel just amazingly blessed being able to work with those musicians. But questions, and again, please put them in the chat and we'll go ahead and we'll facilitate question and answer. The one after that I wanted to share, and again, music and memory. This is more of, well, it's both. And I do work in memory care with Alzheimer's patients, dementia, brain injuries, and a lot with our own students. Again, I'm not a music therapist. I could say I play one on TV because sometimes I feel like I play that during the day, music and memory. But PTSD, a lot of my students, and certain things will trigger, you know, a good and bad, and that's what happens with the music and the memory. The next one is 9/11. I think that's a day that obviously will live in history. I'm originally from New York and New Jersey, and that was a day where I still on 9/11 and every day think about the people we've lost, some that I have known, and it's a very I want to say music brought a group together. um, I do feel that when I was asked to sing at a memorial service the next night for healing and just coming together as a group, I actually did this with Channel 12, and I have to tell you, it was I can't even put into words. It makes me very, very emotional when I do. But this is a song that I did sing, and everybody sang along. I don't think there was one person in the parking lot at their studios downtown Phoenix, and NBC was part of this. And every single year, I will do this and come together through song. Um, I would love to hear how you feel about that as well, because it was very, very painful for, I think, many of us. And I think that's the kind of thing when we see a lot of the memories bring up every 9/11. You'll see documentaries, you'll see so much on television. And I think in the background, we tend to hear music. So I want to know how that makes you feel. If you would like to play that one, Sandra, that would be great.
God bless America, land that I love. I will remember you. Will you remember me? Don't let your life pass you by.
Okay, that was that. That is okay. We can take that one off. Thank you. That is something I've done for the veterans, the Patriots
Part of my
Ball
junior
that
year
I've done.
and part of my in all of my senior year, I was
Oh, I
in
think you
high
still have
school.
it on, Sandra. It sounds like it's still on. Okay, sorry.
While I was there,
Is it still on? There. Okay. I have to say that I talk a lot about this to students, as well as I work with the military nonprofits, Patriots Ball. I have a dear, dear friend who 26 years Navy protecting our country, and I have had the honor and the pleasure of meeting some of the most amazing patriots, including in those pictures that you just saw. I put a lot of those pictures in there. My father came from an immigrant family, and they were the first generation to be educated. And all of them knew music, and they would have never have gone on to college if it weren't for the military and the support, financially that they got. And so that's why I actually put those pictures in there, because we had just lost my dad about 3 years ago. And music was always playing in our house, good, bad, or otherwise. And he as well used to say, you know what, we were so poor sometimes, we'd go to bed hungry, or we'd wake up in the morning and, you know, they didn't have those programs for kids at school with breakfast and whatever, but we had our music, and mom always sang. And so music has a lot of memories for me. So I see some things coming up in the chat before we go to the last slide. If you want to read those, that would be great.
I'd be more than happy to. So
Thank you, Leroy. Appreciate
and
that.
forgive my gruff voice, but I'll try and be as gentle. You're a tough act to follow, so
Oh,
don't
please.
don't be too hard on me. From Dr. Jackie Kiger, forgive me if I got that wrong. Music memory I now miss. Hearing my then 5th grade daughter play Ode to Joy for the 10,000th time on her saxophone that was as big as she was. May I continue, Ms. Fial?
Oh, yes, of course, please.
Okay, no problem. Dr. Mo said, Jackie, I miss my daughter singing in Les Miserables. Okay.
Les Miserables. Les Miserables.
Thank you. See, I was gonna screw that. I was
It's
gonna chop
okay.
that up bad, but
It's okay.
thank you for it. I'm planning on going to more plays. I promise. So,
Okay.
to get my culture up. Um, Ida and Beauty and the Beast during her high school performances. I listen to her recordings over and over, and they always make me smile.
Oh.
And Dr. Cogger did say again, and today she's a middle school band director with a master's in music ed. Wow.
Oh my gosh. See, music is a universal language, and look what it does for our children, for our students, right? I that's wonderful. So basically hearing, like say for example, Les Mis, if you hear any of those songs, whether you download them, what is it, Spotify, Pandora, if you hear them, or if you hear a saxophone, right? Wasn't it saxophone you said? Um, it's going to trigger that memory, you know? I think of my daughter, and I'll share this with you too, who's now 33, but I remember she was 4. We started her on piano, and she would get off the piano bench to touch the pedals, you know? And I remember she was playing Rachmaninoff by the time she was 6, 12 page, just kept going. She definitely had music genes, but beyond anything I ever did. And I remember we had friends visiting, and it was 5 o'clock in the morning. And she went down to the piano because she wanted to be practicing. Well, our guests had come from the East Coast, thank goodness. But at 5 in the morning, to hear that slamming, banging classical music on the piano, they came flying down the stairs. Oh my goodness, what's going on? And this was my daughter. You told me, Mommy, I had to practice for 2 hours every day. So I'm doing it before school. You can't argue with that, right? And I think every time I see a child play a piano, and sometimes when I do my own gigs around town, and we do this local restaurant at least every other month, is I mean, more so than the big gigs I do and whatnot. That to me is so exciting because the kids, you talk to the kids, especially the really young ones, and they come up and they just naturally connect because they love the music. They love the music. Does anybody want to share a story like chat? I think you can if you take yourself off mute. No?
I'll share one
Okay,
if,
please.
if, if
Thank
I
you.
can.
Please.
Well, and this is actually a lesson that I learned with my own daughter. Actually, she taught me something.
Okay.
I like science and numbers and
Sure.
finance and money and investments. And I was talking to my daughter, whose name is Avery, and she likes to sing and dance. And for the life of me, I couldn't understand why. And so I sat down with her and I said, "Why are you trying to like be singing and dancing and doing these singing monsters?" Because on her Roblox, she has this thing where you can buy music. And I said, "Why do you do that?"
Right.
He said, "Daddy, what makes you smile?" I stopped.
Oh,
She looked at me and said that.
wow.
Okay. And from then on, I never pushed her in the direction of that again. Um,
Wow.
she said that, music just makes me happy because there's no competition, there's no projects, and you know what, Daddy, you need to find what makes you smile.
Oh, when you talk about I know. It's a very tough situation. I think that I had a woman come up to me at Phoenix Children's Hospital, and I started a project, and I'm going to explain music and math come together. There is something about music and math. Usually, if you're very, very good in music, you're going to be very good in math, and that's true of my own daughter. And I was doing a project for the Children's Hospital, and they asked if we would do our CD release party, and it was all doctors I got together to make music. And these were doctors that used it for therapy for themselves years and years, you know, because all the studies and whatnot. So we were in what they called our CD release, and we were in the children's cancer, the pediatric cancer ward. And God bless, and I say this, it was the hardest thing I think I had to do. And my daughter was there with her friends, and they were 7. And I remember just looking over, and I looked over at this mom who came up to me, and she said, my daughter, she was in a wagon, and, you know, I mean, she was just so sick from all the chemo. And she said to me, Miss Fial, she wants you to hug her, and she wants to hold your microphone. And I said, I got one better, because I could see that she was moving her mouth and singing. We were singing Disney songs, and she sang with me. And her mom came up to me and asked to keep in touch with me. And she did, even after the little girl passed away. And I remember thinking, these are the kind of gigs, you know what I'm saying? They live in your heart forever. She said, you made her day. I think it was the other way around. I felt like I shared something that everybody took away. And that's why the last YouTube that I want to share, it's a little different. You know, nobody should go through what that parent went through. I did 100, he was 100 years old. And this is a couple that I worked with for 20 years. I did their anniversary, I did his 80th birthday, blah, blah, blah. And he was 100, and his wife, Joan, she came to me and said, Laura, we're going to do that. I mean, he's perfectly fine. He's actually in a book of people that live beyond 100. He was a paratrooper in military. Family started Reader's Digest. They lived here in Scottsdale area. And this was a song they brought to me to learn in that 20 years that they would always come see me wherever I was playing. He died a month later. And she said to me, oh, no, it's
Sorry.
that one. Yeah, no, it's the next one. And it might not show up. It's Don's 100th birthday party. I don't know. See, it's 47 seconds. I don't know if that one shows up. Oh, it's on Facebook. I'm sorry. Copy that link and go on Facebook. I apologize. And you will see him dancing.
Which link? I'm sorry, Laura. Which link is it?
Well, I'm going to
This
give
was
that.
the link that
yeah,
was embedded in the PowerPoint, but
right. It's the one. Do you see it?
oh, the Facebook link.
Yep. If you would just circle that. Yep. And people, because I don't know if we can go on it, but copy and paste that into whatever later on. And please take a listen and
Okay.
reach out to me. You can connect to me on
You
Laura.
have to log in, Laura. So
No. I meant people
yeah,
can do
maybe
that later if they
individuals.
like to.
Okay. For
Yeah,
individuals.
paste it in the chat. You can paste it in the chat for
Okay.
individuals later on, please, if you will. And that's music by Laura Fial. So you'll be able to see that, and you'll see this man dancing. Amazing. Amazing. So that made me feel really just, my heart was heavy for losing him, but I'm so glad. And she said, Laura, that was his favorite song, and you gave that to him that night. No, he gave it to us. And it was very, very special. So yeah, you can read some more of those stories. How does music make you feel? I'm going to take something more extensive tomorrow. I will be speaking again, a little bit different, and sharing some facts, fun facts, and lots of good stuff tomorrow with you. Does anybody else have any questions before we go? That I see it. Is that a hand up? Jackie, I see somebody's hand up. No? Okay. No? If anybody wants to reach out to me, please feel free. laura.fial@uagc.edu, as well as my Jazz Diva 2012 at iCloud.com. I wouldn't want to be any other place
much
today.
appreciation. Thank you. Thank
Oh,
you very much.
please.
And thank you for what you do for our military students as a side.
It is my honor. My honor. I come from a military family. It's my honor. And My dad died of the injuries that unfortunately were, as he says, he wouldn't trade it for the world. He said that. And eventually that's what took him. And I say, you know what? We are blessed to have all of them. As much as I miss my dad, we are blessed to have the integrity and the fortitude and just the amazing people that I'm surrounded with, looking at all of you. So thank you, everybody, for what you do. And please make it a musical day and go ahead and share some musical memories with me when you can.
Thank you so much, Laura. We
Thank
so
you.
appreciated this conversation and the musical examples, highlighting your voice and the good cause that you do and the joy that you bring to everyone who listens to you. I will be connecting with you for sure.
I
To
hope
everybody,
so.
thank you so much for attending this session. And we really appreciated your comments and, of course, presence here, musical presence. This concludes our presentation for today, or for this time slot at least. Thank you to all again. We hope that you found the conversation inspiring and that you will pay forward this musical interest of yours to again bring happiness and joy to other people's lives. On behalf of the Department of Behavioral Sciences and the University of Arizona Global Campus, again, a big thank you. Please have a great rest of your day. Our next session will start at 9:45 Pacific time. If you're on the East Coast, 12:45. I pasted the link to our next session titled Self-Care in Action by Dr. Dana Dillard. So we would love to have you back in this room. Take a quick break to yourself, maybe listen to a favorite tune, and we hope to see you back shortly. Thanks again.
Thank you, everybody.
And thank you so much, Laura.
And thank you. Well, thank you, Sandra and Leroy, and everybody attending. Big round of applause for all of you.